Buddhist, the meaning of life, chapter 8. Simply put, Buddhists have beliefs in care for nature. For a Buddhist, number one law, as it were, is to respect and care for all living things. Respect for respect and love for all living things is the Buddhist way. It means no cutting down trees, killing bugs, hunting for the reason most Buddhists are vegetarian. Buddhists also have bigger intention, and that is to achieve nirvana, to escape the continuous will of life, known to them as sansar. Nirvana is achieved through the goodwill, doing no harm to wildlife. Is human nature originally good or evil? Cat's answer is as usual. That is depends on the perspective from which the question is asked. If the question refers to the potential which resides in every human being as living animal, rational, human and accountable, personal being, then we must regard human nature as originally good because these characteristics naturally enjoy the observance of the moral law. However, if the questions refers to the actual state of human person in their first subsequent moral acts, then we cannot avoid the conclusion that on original a radical evil exists in human nature. This is conclusion is necessary not only if we base our judgment. In addition, it must be apprehended the priori through the compet of evil. Thus, Kant includes we may suppose evil to be subjectively necessary to every man, even the best perspective of potential. In the actual state of affairs, humankind is truly caught up in the suffering and its causes. The first, second noble truth. This situation's Buddhist understanding of human nature as neither optimist nor pessimistic, but rather showing equal concern for both faults in every human and his her potential to rise above them. The final line too should be taken to hear by Buddhists, while the worship of Buddha as perfected being parrots many traditions. The stories of his encounters with the temple loyalty death as corollary to the Old Testament Satan that continued and through life. The difference after his awakening was the Buddha then could see the temple as betrayal was he could temptation and affect a mental state as they were as mental states as once they were sin they lost power disappeared. One should also remember teaching given by Buddha as end of his life. He told his weeping attendant Amanda that the Buddha could be found in the Dharma teaching. So rather than project all of one's hope and dreams into this dying person, then weep over his bigger truth that they have come to represent. Isn't this what the Jain saying, if you see the Buddha on the side of the reed, kill him, is all about? We must presuppose evil in every man. Even the best evil being some moral faults or another. Don't let your guard down. Don't project perfection into this or that teacher. Human nature is some of its actions. All human actions are rooted in arrogance or other negative emotions. Therefore, human nature is negative. Arrogance. The arrogance is the word, arrogance is the nature which makes आवर नेचर निगेटिव एरोगेंस अज्ञानता के कारण हम निगेटिव सोचते हैं. It can be argued whether the premises are true, not that argument is invalid. That is necessarily has anything to do with metaphysics. Metaphysics is the combination of two different things, meta as spirituality and physics as you know the branch of science. Justin speaks of metaphysics. It seems that both Buddha and Kant relied on metaphysics to suggest the good side of a human nature as a balance for the bad, which is more easily simply observed. That there is a dharma, a force or law which holds up reality or karma, or the mind is the forerunner of all experiences. All tend towards metaphysical statements suggesting an unseen which exists if we are make sense of our seen world. It may be mere semantics, but the Buddha teaches a rich cosmology and psychology as metaphysics, or in the place of metaphysics if you prefer. You can subscribe and like my channel. Thank you. Lord Mahavir, the significant point of life, chapter 9. The spiritual power and moral grandeur of Mahavira's teaching expressed the masses. He made religious simple and natural, free from elaborate ritual complexities. His teachings reflected the popular impulse towards internal beauty and harmony of soul. His message of nonviolence, ahimsa, truth, satya, non-stealing, celibacy, brahmacharya, and non-passion is full of universal compassion that said, a living body is not merely integration of a limbs and flesh, but it is a body of the souls which potentially has perfect perception. Ant, Anant Darsana, perfect knowledge, Anant Jana, perfect power, Anant Virya, and perfect bliss, Anant Sukh. Mahaviras was a quite successful interdicating from human intellect. Conception of the God as creator, perceptor, destroyer. He also denounces the worship of gods and goodness as means of salvation. He thought the idea of supremacy of human life and stressed importance of positive attitude of life. Thank you. You can like or subscribe my channel. Thanks again.